Sore glutes after lifting, that burn might feel productive, but it's not always a good thing. So let's fix it with 2 simple stretches. Join me now. Feeling your glutes sore after lifting isn't always a sign of gains. It's often due to tightness or overcompensation in your hips and your lower back. And to recover faster and keep lifting strong, these exercises will help loosen things up. So what you will need is a yoga mat and a table, and we'll get to that. For this first drill, you can do one of 2 things. You can do it with bent knees, or I'm going to show you a straight leg variation. And I really want you to pay attention to the glute we're going to focus on. So I'm going to turn to different positions so you can see different angles. So the first thing is I'm going to take my knee down. Make sure you're sitting on the sit bones, those bony parts, and take the other knee across. So this is the first part I want you to see. And you're going to sit up tall. Now, the leg that's on top, that's the glute you're going to get. So I'm going to turn so you can see this direction. So, couple things. If your butt is going up, I want you to take a moment, use your fingertips and lift so you can rock down and feel both sit bones down. That's going to be very important so you can really isolate the stretch. Now, the knee will tend to fall, so you really want to engage, hug in, and use your exhale so that you can rotate. You got a couple options here. You can hold on the palm on the leg or the thigh, but just not the knee joint. So you can hold on like this with the elbow, or you can bring your arm across. It's a deeper twist. So right now I'm just going to hold like this, and you want to focus on this glute, so the one that's across the leg. And then you can just place your palm behind. Now, if you're feeling okay in this position, you can change the arm position and you can get a little bit more leverage, pushing the tricep into the thigh and rotating. So you're also getting a nice spinal rotation as well. But you do want to feel right through here, this side glute really opening up. Make sure the butt doesn't lift off the floor, that sit bone. And then use your breath, the power of your breath. And I'm resisting with both the palm and the elbow, the forearm, and pressing. Keep the chest lifted. You can make a fist, or you can spread the fingers, but you want to be really active. And then turn the head and the neck last, because it's part of your spine, your neck. And just breathe. Make sure that this knee does not fall out. Now, another option, if that is not accessible to you, I'm going to turn back around so you can see, is you can straighten the leg and cross it over. Okay, so from that, this is how it looks to get that side. So cross the leg over, the foot over, hug it in, so you don't have to worry about trying to get both knees bent, and then pull, exhale, and maybe go right into it with the forearm, the upper arm and elbow. Make sure that that glute is staying down. Keep your chest lifted, keep a fist or spread the fingers, and breathe. Get that exhale as you twist. And then hold for a few breaths so that you can really get into that side glute. And release. Shake the legs out, and we'll do the other side just so that you feel the evenness. And I want you to also pay attention the difference that you might feel from side to side. You might even see it on me. So I'm going to show you front view, and this is my harder side. So I'm going to bring the knee down and cross the leg over. Now, again, the butt can lift off, so I want you to use your fingertips and adjust. Exhale, use your palm, remember not on the knee, hold the shin and rotate. And keep rotating, and then you can start to use the forearm to help rotate, breathing into that exhale. Once you're there, you can switch the arm position. Make a fist, keep sitting up tall, turn your head and neck last as you breathe fully. And keep in mind, this can be very, very deep, really depends on your body, so take your time to breathe into it. And release. Now let's just do the straight leg variation, just so you have a couple options. And if this is the easier one for you to do right now, I totally recommend doing it just so you can get that benefit, because this is a really good one to get for that side glute. So cross the leg over, feel those sit bones. That's the bottom of your pelvis. That's like your anchor point. And that also enables you to lift your spine up and out of your pelvis. Make sure the knee doesn't fall out, hug it in, use the exhale, it's gonna help you twist. And then you can do the elbow crease, twist, and maybe go with the upper arm, make that fist, keep sitting up tall, turn back, breathe. And you're feeling the support of both arms as well. That's facilitating the twist, but also getting into now this glute. And then slowly release and shake the legs out. And I recommend practicing this quite a few times, seeing which variation works for you and the difference from side to side. Now let's move on to the next one. So the table can be your BFF, I'm serious. And this is kind of a little low. You can try different heights. So if you have trouble with the pigeon variation on the floor, I have my clients do this all the time, and they absolutely love it because it maintains the position that you want to be in to access the glute, the hip, and it's safe for the knees. There's no stress on the knee joint, and it's accessible. So there's different ways that you can, play with it to really access what you're trying to do, is get that glute to stretch out. So play with different heights of the table, and you do want something a little bit sturdy versus like a couch. I mean, you can try a couch, it's probably a little too low, but the table is usually something that's like hip height, a little bit higher, a little bit lower, around there, and you'll know as soon as you get into it. So the first thing, I want you to think you're balancing to get into the position. So take your time and don't rush, because I want you to get the full productive benefit of this stretch. So the first thing you're gonna do is take the leg up and over. Since this is a short table, my foot's gonna hang off. If it was a bigger table, I'd have the foot on the table. But you want the foot dorsiflexed, and I'll show you on the other side. Okay, so now you're gonna keep the hips facing forward. And maybe you just stay here, upright, you're feeling that stretch, and this is your good to go. If you're not feeling enough, make sure the foot and the leg stay active, and you're pressing the knee and the leg into the table. You can start to hinge from the hip joint, not your spine, so you don't want a rounded spine. Hinge from the hip joint and start to lean your torso forward. You can place your palms on the table and breathe into that stretch. Now, another tip that one of my clients absolutely loves is that to bend the bottom knee so that she can really start to oscillate into that side glute, and you can play with that yourself. And I always invite creativity into your movement journey to really help you get further into your lifts and your fitness. Okay, or you can just stay here and keep bringing your upper body weight forward to really get into that side glute. And make sure your head isn't dropping. You always want to think really good body mechanics. Now, to come out, slowly come up, and make sure you stay in the pose for a little bit so you can get that full benefit. And then slowly take the leg off, and now we'll do the other side. So this is my tighter side. And like I said, I'm gonna let the foot hang off. And within the tighter side, what can tend to happen is the hips are gonna wanna twist. So you're gonna have to really be mindful using your breath and work on having the hips forward so you really get into that side glute on the other side. And then maybe stay here for a little bit and eventually start to bring the upper body forward. Keep this foot active. It's also protecting the knee joint. And you're energetically driving the leg, the knee, and the thigh into the table so that you get that productive stretch on the glute with the leg that's up, that's on the table. Neck is long. And you can see how far you can go. Maybe go a little bit lower, bring the palms together. You can play with bending the knee, oscillating that way. Relaxing the shoulders. You don't want to compensate anywhere either. And then slowly draw yourself up and take off. And you can just walk a little bit and see how your glutes feel after those 2 drills. So we did 2 drills, and you can do them as often as you need after your workout, especially when you're doing squats or deadlifts, or whenever you're really working the glutes. I recommend trying this, especially if you have that lingering burn. And remember, these exercises, these drills are to help you, work towards releasing tension and compensation so you're more mobile, and it's going to give you bigger gains for your lift. Relieving sore glutes is not just about feeling better, it's about recovering smarter so you can lift stronger. So I recommend adding these 2 different drills that you can do right after you do your workout, especially if you have that lingering soreness, that lingering feeling in your glutes that's just kind of hanging on a little too long. And besides, it's only going to add to your gains, not take away, by doing these drills. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Comment below which drill you found most productive and beneficial, and test it. Do your lifts, do your workout, work on your PRs, come back to these drills and see if there is a difference, and keep progressing. The more you work on this, the more you're going to have the benefit. And if you like what you've got here and you find it helpful, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any more of the tips so that you can keep working on your PRs. I'll see you next time.